Hello everybody, it's me Alicia. So in my last video I opened up the Urban Glitz bead box with you guys, and during the filming of that video I told you that I was going to get hit by Hurricane Irma, and I did. But when I was filming that, they were forecasting that the hurricane was going to ride up the east coast of Florida, and they actually said that it was going to make landfall where I live, which is in Fort Pierce, Florida, and it ended up changing. The storm went to the west, and then they said it was going to go up the west coast. But as it was happening, I was without power, listening to the radio, and I heard them saying that it was kind of going like up the center of Florida. And oh my gosh, that storm was so massive. We had so much rain, and I actually heard on the radio that Fort Pierce, Florida got the most rain in any of the counties. And I believe it, because oh my gosh, it was so close to coming in my house. We were getting ready to go and get bricks to put the furniture up on bricks in case it got in the house so it didn't ruin our furniture. But oh my gosh, guys, we prepared for the worst. We really did. Hurricane Category 5 was scary. That was an enormous storm. So anyways, things are getting back to normal now. I was without power. I lost it on Saturday. I think I got it back on Wednesday or Thursday night. And we've been without cable, a house phone, and internet for an entire week. Today's Saturday. So I just got it back today. I'm filming this on a Saturday. So anyways, made it through the storm. The flooding was really bad and almost got in my house. But everything went well. We have no damage, and we are always really prepared for disasters like that when things like that happen. My family and I. So anyways, let's talk about this Urban Glitz bead box. So anyways, I did a video opening up the bead box, and I loved everything in the box. It was the Boho box, and all the colors are gorgeous, and I liked the beads, and I liked everything in the box. The charms, it just all went so well together. And when I first started playing with them, I realized, maybe I shouldn't do a weaving project. Maybe I should do a stringing project, which I don't do very often because I feel like it's so easy. I feel like I'm getting out of, making a nice piece of jewelry when I just do stringing. It's kind of weird or funny. But anyways, I always go more towards weaving projects. So I decided that I should do a stringing project, and I wanted to do a memory wire bracelet, and I started doing it, and I had all the beads and I laid them out in a pattern. And by the way, I already have this completed, and I'm just going to tell you what I did. And I was going to do it in the video, but then I realized there was a lot to this, and I wanted to make this really awesome, and so I took a lot of time figuring out how I wanted to use pieces in it and where to place them and stuff. So I ended up just completing the piece, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. So anyways, I was going to do a memory wire bracelet, and it was looking really cool, and I was happy with it. But I really wanted to use this cord here, so I decided not to use the memory wire and to use bead stringing wire so this was soft. And so I did, and I played with the beads, and I figured out a pattern so that when I wrap it around my wrist, it kind of looks random. I don't want the beads to be, all the same beads to be lining up on the same spot. I want it to be all mixed together. So I came up with a cool pattern, and this is the bracelet. I really used everything in the bead box to make this. This was my leftover, was this chain, which I adore. It's a faceted ball chain, and it's purple. It's golden purple. It is so pretty. It's very sparkly. There's this leaf, and it's a very fragile, dainty leaf. You see how thin it is? So I decided to put it on this dainty chain, and I love that. And the only things that I have left over is some cording and 2 end caps, and I think 5 wooden beads. That's it. I really have used everything to make this little necklace. Was just simple, and this wrap bracelet. So anyways, I'm going to open this up and show you guys. So I did bead stringing wire. Right here is a bead cover. I got those from Lisa. I didn't have any in gold. And I did a little pattern here. And I decided to use some gold jump rings. These I think are 8mm. My aunt sent me a ton of them, and they work great for spacers. And here is my other end here where I have my bead stringing wire. And I put on this really pretty lobster claw clasp. I think I got it from Joann's. And I decided to have a little extender here. Not that I really need the extender, but I like how it looks. It's very fancy. It's really cute. So I added that. And then I have my cap there, and I added more jump rings. I have two sizes of jump rings. I have these, I think they're 8mm, and these larger ones, which I want to say are 10 or 12mm jump rings. And I have these gold beads. They're metal, and they're hollow inside. And I realized when I went to go find some beads to put on these giant jump rings that the ones that weren't hollow inside, and when I say hollow, I mean that it's like, how can I say it? Of course it's hollow as there's a hole in it, but if you look inside the bead, it's very thin metal, and it's more open inside. It's not just a tube hole, if you can understand what I'm saying. But anyways, because it was hollow inside, it made it easy for the jump ring to go through, because a lot of the other metal beads I had, I wasn't able to pass through unless they had a large hole. So anyways, I put some jump rings on there, and I made a tassel. I have a tutorial on how I make my tassels, and I will leave a link for it down there in the description bar. I took some wire, wrapped it around. It's really pretty. A lot of gold in this. Some more jump rings and beads. And then here is a charm. This is the hand charm. You guys told me some really neat things about this little charm. I didn't know anything about this hand charm, but it's pretty cool. The info you guys gave me on it. Thank you. And here's some more jump rings. And then here's the wing charm, and this one's double-sided. That's really cool. And then here it goes back into the beading. So it's really a cool wrap bracelet. And by the way, it wraps around 6 times. There's 4, 5, 6 times. And I made it so that when I wear it, the closure is kind of like here on my wrist. And then the charms, I was going to have them spaced out so that I had like a charm here, here, and here. But then I realized that I would be hitting the charms, you know, on the desk or tables and stuff all the time. So then I figured out how I could get them to lay on the very top of my hand. So when I wear it, they're all like this, cascading from the top of my hand. It looks really cool. And I will put it on for you guys and show you what it looks like. But I really love how this turned out. I have a lot of time put into it. And I was going to film how I did it, but I just realized it was just too time consuming. And I would be better off to just make it and tell you guys how I did it. So, the only things that I used that were mine were the jump rings, the bead stringing wire, the clasp, the bead, not bead, the crimp covers, that's what they're called, and these gold ball beads. Everything else was from the Urban Glitz bead box. So, I'm zoomed out all that I can, but just to show you guys, I did not measure this at all when I made it. Okay, the very first thing I did is I strung my beads, and this is my pattern right here, okay? And I counted the beads. I discovered that there were 20 of the cranberry ones. I think there's 50 of these yellow ones. I mean, those yellow ones are so pretty. They're yellow and they have like a gold luster on them. They're gorgeous. I think there's 20 of these, 50 of these, 20 of these, and there was 20 wooden beads. And there's 20 of these. So this is the pattern that I have. I have 4 of these, 5, and then 4, and then 5 of the yellow again, 3 wooden, and in between I put the 8mm gold jump rings, and then 4 of these. Now I was going to put 10 of the yellow ones in a row, but when I wrapped it around my wrist it didn't look good, so I ended up separating them. So anyways, this is my pattern. And I repeated it until I ran out of beads, as you could see right there. I kept repeating the pattern. Okay. I used all of my beads. Only beads I have left over are 5 wooden beads, and some of them were in bad shape, and that's why I took them out. And I realized that it was best that I did, because if I did 4 wooden beads, I don't think it would look as nice. I like that it's 3. So anyways, for this now, and I hope I can get this whole thing in the camera view, I had to figure out how to get all of these charms, or here's a charm, to lay right here in the top of my hand, so they cascaded down my hand. So what I did, after I beaded all those, okay, I put my clasp on, and I crimped it, and I put the crimp cover on it, okay, and then I came over here, I crimped it, I put this on first, and then I crimped it, and then I slid the cord into here and I glued it. I did not measure anything. I did this all by wrapping it around my wrist and seeing how it laid. So anyways, after I did that, I put the cord in and I glued it. I did not cut the cord. And then I wrapped it around my wrist to see how many times I should wrap it around. And so I did that, and I figured out about how much I needed, and I cut the cord, and I did leave a little slack because I didn't want to cut it too short, okay? So then I had to figure out, well, how am I going to place these charms so that they all lay on the top of my hand instead of going all the way around? So I took 3 jump rings, okay, and I put them on the cord. Then I wrapped the cord around my hand, and then I slid the jump rings while it was on my wrist on the cord, and I used them as markers. It was a really good idea, and I marked these 3 spots right here, okay, with 3 jump rings. So then when I opened it up, I could see, oh, there's a jump ring here, here, and here. That's where I need my charms to be in order for them to lay on the top of my hand. So then I took the jump rings and my little bead dangle things that I made, and the charms, and I laid them out on my bead mat, and I kind of guesstimated how many I needed in between, and I think there's about 1.25 inches of space in between all my jump rings, maybe 1.5 inches. They do move, but that's totally fine with me. And that's what I did, and I put them on, and it worked out really great. They are spaced nicely apart, so when I go to put this on, they go right in the top of my hand. So I didn't want to make this too tight. Oh, and also I made it so when I wear it, the clasp is at the back of my hand, because if it's at the front and you go to close it and you're by yourself, you have to grab it, and you know your other end's going to be over here. So you have it like this, because then you need to hook on is right here, and it's much easier to open it and snap it on. Okay, so I put it on like this. Okay. Wish my camera could go up some. Just like that. Then I start wrapping in between. Just like that. Okay. Here's my dangles. And then I can actually hold this with my hand. And then I have to clip this on. Just like that. And of course I could do some adjusting with it. Let me take it. It turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. So see how they're kind of on the top of my hand? I didn't want them down here hitting stuff. I wanted them to be on the top so they were visible. It turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. And I can slide it down my hand some. I just have to fidget with it. I really love how everything turned out. And again, I got this class from Joann's, in case you want to get it. I think it was a Blue Moon clasp. It's really neat. I think it, man, it matches so well with this. The pattern that's on it, I feel like it's the same pattern that's in the cording. It's really neat. So, I hope you guys like this. It turned out really great. Sorry if you feel like I needed to do a tutorial on it, but really I felt like it was so simple, but it was a very time-consuming thing to make it. I felt like it was best for me to just make it and then tell you guys how I did it. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you don't have these gold beads or the jump rings, you can still make this. You don't have to have everything that I used that wasn't in the kit. But I'm really happy with this. It is so beautiful. And I'm a huge fan of blue. Okay, different shades of blue. And when I was making this, I realized there's absolutely no blue in it. And I love this to death. The colors are beautiful. And I'm really amazed on how she put these boxes together. The Urban Glitz lady, she did a really good job putting these colors together. They are just gorgeous. So this is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry you've made from my videos on my Facebook page, and follow me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching.